Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm very excited to be with you here today on Training Tip Tuesday. I'm out in the Salt River bottom this morning doing a little rural trail riding. Of course, I urban trail ride before I get here into the Salt River most of the time because I live about 30 minutes, a 30-minute ride from the Salt River bottom. And I feel very fortunate to be able to come into this area, this location, and be able to utilize what I have here and the landscape I have here to help my horses get better on the rural trail. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today on Training Tip Tuesday is the use of your landscape to help your horse improve his mobility and his stability, his ability to walk across things such as rocks, up and down hills, that kind of thing. A lot of horses are raised in a stall, especially down here in Arizona, and they don't get a lot of exposure to places like this where there are hills, there are rocks, there's shrubbery, there are cactus, and we're coming across the river bottom right now with a lot of rocks, and I'll show you this. And this is Duke. I'm riding Duke this morning on this Training Tip Tuesday. He's doing very, very well. I mean, excellent. He hasn't spooked once in the last number of days, and he's really advancing in his training. I'm excited to send him back even more prepared for his owner. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is rocks. As you can hear and see behind me, there are a lot of rocks that I'm crossing right now. Now, Duke, he was a horse that didn't have a lot of exposure to rocks, and so when the first time I came across rocks, he was a little trippy. So you have to be careful when you walk across rocks, and horses haven't been used to that. If they're not a Mustang that's been out in the wild, most likely they're going to be a little challenged when it comes to rocks. So a place like this where there are a number of rocks, there are rocks everywhere. You can ride across them. And one thing you want to make sure is that your horse's feet are protected. Now I'm throwing a lot of things at you right now for Training Tip Tuesday. But I see a lot of people that want to keep their horses barefoot, and I'm a big advocate of barefoot horses. However, if you're going to be doing a lot of riding in the rocks, and especially jagged rocks, where even gravel, the like 1-inch gravel or under 3/4 inch gravel, that can get really, really ouchy. Horses can get really ouchy really quickly with that kind of footing. So if you're going to try to keep your horse barefoot, either you're not going to be able to ride much, or you're going to have boots or shoes. And I'm a big advocate of shoes just because they protect the horses so much. The advantages of protecting the horse's feet far outweigh the disadvantages of having a harder impact through the shoe and through the leg. So, and right there, he just tripped a little bit on a rock. So that's what I'm talking about, just working on going over rocks, exposing your horse to this kind of thing. Now, you got to be careful. You never want to run across rocks like this. You want to just walk them carefully, and if you're too insecure about it and you're not sure about your horse's footing, first of all, if your horse is really trippy just in the round pen or in the arena, you might want to consider getting a different horse and moving on from that horse, or just not using that horse for riding on the trail or even in the arena, because a horse that stumbles a lot is going to be a horse that eventually trips and falls down with you and probably hurts you. So yeah. Again, I'm throwing a lot of things at you, but hopefully this is all helpful. Utilize your landscape to your advantage by, like, all the bushes and trees that you see around here. You can utilize them to help bend your horse, help slow your horse down, help give them a direction to go and a way to bend around those physical obstacles that will help your horse get softer out on the trail. If you get your horse nice and soft and light and bending well and turning, neck reining, that kind of thing in the arena, once you get out here, you'll find that they get so distracted that a lot of times they forget how to do it. So you have to, it's not reteaching them, but it's just reminding them all the cues that you give them in the arena, they apply to out here on the trail as well. So when you guys come out on the trail, utilize the landscape, utilize the rocks, go across the rocks, and help your horse improve his ability to walk across them without tripping and stumbling. And as you move along, your horse is just going to get better and better, and he's going to be able to start picking through the rocks. Up in Colorado, we use the mountains and our pack string, so packing our horses up in the mountains, we will do that first. If we have a green horse that hasn't been ridden much and they're just in training. We'll use them as a pack horse for a few weeks at minimum to help to see, first of all, how sure-footed they are, if they're sure-footed enough to cross some of that rough terrain, or if they've got some problems in that aspect. Because you don't want to be on a horse that is unsure-footed and trippy when you're in some of that rough country, or even down here on these rocks and in the sand and wherever it is. Now I'm coming across sand right here, and one thing you have to be careful about sand, a lot of people want to run in the sand or lope in the sand. Now you have to be careful about stretching tendons when you do that, but that's usually it's not too much of a problem unless you run a whole lot and it's real deep sand. But also in this sand, especially in the river bottom, you have to be careful about bigger rocks underneath the sand as you're loping along. If your horse sinks through the sand and then hits a bigger rock below, it could cause them, it could either the concussion of it could hurt them, or they can also trip. And I've known people, and I've had a horse trip with me going through sand because they hit a rock underneath and tripped, and they weren't prepared for that. Just a lot of little tips for you, some things to have you guys think about this week for Training Tip Tuesday. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I have a post going up. It's either already gone up or going up soon, and about Lady Horse Boss. So it's going to be a video that I put together, just a short video out here about Lady Horse Boss and how important it is to join that community. I hope you guys will opt in for the saddlebag giveaway that's going on this week and next week, and we're going to be doing a saddlebag giveaway. It's a survival saddlebag giveaway, so not only do you get the saddlebag, but you get a whole bunch of survival objects, things like a hoof pick, a water bottle, a filtration straw, all kinds of stuff that is going to keep you safer out on the trail if you come into an emergency. So make sure to opt into that. And so that you can possibly win that survival saddlebag, and also all the information that you're going to get through Lady Horse Boss is going to be incredibly helpful for one thing, and that is to live your best life. If you want to live your best life, you have to focus on all areas of your life, and that includes more than just horsemanship. And that's why Stacy started Lady Horse Boss. My wife started Lady Horse Boss because she and I helped her. I co-founded it. But we wanted to help people live their best life, not just in horsemanship. So yeah, the horsemanship videos are going to be there, but also we're going to be working with people in health and wellness. We're going to be working with people in wealth building, in relationship building, and also in preparedness. And also we have a great charitable organization that's going to be part of Lady Horse Boss, and helping military families and first responders and policemen, and also helping feed the homeless. So we look forward to that. We're super excited. The end of November, we're going to be launching the Lady Horse Boss membership. We hope you at least opt in with your email and start getting our newsletters and other emails that are going to be very, very helpful for people, and also get a chance to win a lot of things in Lady Horse Boss. And the first one is going to be that survival saddlebag. Again, be thankful, guys. Live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.